So I'm going to show you guys my first book today, and I'm doing this the best I can, so bear with me. This video definitely isn't going to do this book justice, but let's get into it. This is the Puerto Rico Cemeteries, Book 1, and I'm going to start showing it to you guys now. There's the first page. And this first cemetery we're going to be exploring is the Cementerio Municipal San Jose de Villa Palmeras. And it was right down the street from the apartment that I stayed in for a month during my first trip to Puerto Rico. And during my second trip to Puerto Rico, I was able to make it back to this cemetery with my good camera, and I took these pictures during a rainstorm while I was in San Juan. And I put a lot of love and care into making this book, and I just wanted to display how unique and amazing the cemeteries in Puerto Rico are. My pictures turned out really good too. I was really happy with them. And like I said, this video won't do it justice, and there's already some glare right here as I can see from the reflection of the light, which sucks, but I just wanted to show you guys really just how amazing this book that I made is. And it costed me about $500 to make, so if anybody was interested in purchasing one, I don't expect you to be now, because this was a very expensive book, 10 by 10 hardcover. This is probably about 300 pages, and high quality paper, high quality ink, as you can see. This is definitely one of my favorite cemeteries. It was just so huge and vast and had so many amazing headstones, and there were so many interesting people who lived in this area back in the day. This is definitely my favorite statue. It's the cover of the book, and I have many pictures of it in this book, just different angles, different color schemes, stuff like that. I really like the full page pictures as well. I think that is just a beauty. It's an amazing statue, isn't it? I wish that glare from the light wasn't there. I'm going to try to rectify that here in a moment. It's an amazing cemetery, and it's just right in the heart of the people too. I like these barrio cemeteries because they're just right smack dab in the middle of a couple neighborhoods, you know what I mean? So there's houses all around them. And that's just something that makes these cemeteries in Puerto Rico pretty unique. They're right there with the people, not necessarily just on the edge of town somewhere. Yeah, my pictures from this cemetery turned out really good though. I must say I'm pretty happy with it, all in all. So now we're going to be exploring the Castle Cemetery that's in Old San Juan, and it's right there by the ocean. And I got a lot of amazing photos of this cemetery as well, as you can see. This is a special cemetery out in Old San Juan. It's really old and it's got a lot of famous and important people buried here, whether it be athletes, politicians, revolutionaries. There are a lot of stories that originate from this cemetery, and I'm excited to go back on my third trip because I got a few new stories for you guys and a couple of headstones that I want to go look at again at this cemetery. You can see the old castle walls and some of the photos behind some of these old statues. Like I said, my camera in this video just isn't going to do this book justice. I was so proud of this book when I finally got finished with it. I worked so hard on it. It's a couple years in the making. And it was worth the $500 to me. I don't expect anyone to buy one, but it was worth the $500. I thought that was awesome. The iguana that was walking around on the statue. That's something that's cool about these cemeteries in Puerto Rico too, is that the iguanas love the cemeteries. Look at that one. He's just chilling. They love the cemeteries. The tombs actually make good homes for them. So many amazing statues at this cemetery. Like I said, it's right by the ocean. We'll see a couple pretty cool pictures I took with the ocean in the background in a minute. Like this one right here. I think it's pretty cool. The people that are buried right there in the very first row facing the ocean. I just think that's awesome to get a burial plot there and have that be the background. That is just amazing. You can see La Perla back here. La Perla over there. It's an interesting place in Old San Juan. This was the first cemetery I photographed when I came to Puerto Rico. I couldn't believe how big it was. You guys know the cemeteries I'm used to exploring here in Washington State, so seeing a cemetery like this was kind of a culture shock for a minute, but I couldn't stay away while all my friends were out doing other things. I just kind of stayed at the cemeteries here in San Juan for most of the month when I was there on my first trip to Puerto Rico. Just imagine holding this book in your hand. It's heavy. It's a 10 by 10 hardcover. As you can see, it's a huge book. I think by the time I'm done with all my cemetery adventures in Puerto Rico, I might have 5 books like this, you know that? Because I still have so much more that I want to do concerning the cemeteries in Puerto Rico. They just got me for some reason. I can't stop going and visiting them. I'm just drawn to these cemeteries in Puerto Rico for some reason. Can't quite put my finger on it. Sorry I'm going through this so fast, but we could be here for a couple hours, honestly. And now we're done with the Castle Cemetery, and we're going to move on to the Puerto Rico Memorial Cemetery. And this cemetery is one of my favorites too. I took these photos as the sun was going down one night when I was waiting for my plane to catch a plane to go home, and they turned out really well. It's a whole different world, you know, like I've told you guys throughout various episodes in the past, that sunrises and sunsets are totally different worlds in these cemeteries, and I was glad to get some sunset pictures before I left Puerto Rico last year. And this cemetery didn't disappoint in the least. These cemeteries in San Juan are just incredible, and I know this cemetery is more in the Carolina area, if I'm correct, but it's right there by the beach. I really loved this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures. Try to get a better camera angle. There we go. Like I told you guys in the beginning, this is the Puerto Rico Cemeteries Book 1. I do have a Book 2 that I've released as well, and I'll be showing you guys that book later when I'm done showing you guys Book 1. And I'm working on the Puerto Rico Cemeteries Book 3 right now as we speak, and then I plan on going to Puerto Rico again and photographing about 25 to 30 more cemeteries, and when I'm done with that, I'll produce books 4, 5, 6, and maybe 7. So like I said, this is going to be a huge collection of photographs when I'm done doing everything that it is I want to do. Now we're going to be checking out the Cementerio Villa Navarrez. And this cemetery is located south of San Juan, just like deep in the heart of the people. And I was really excited when I finally made it out to this cemetery, because I was thinking about it for a while before I made it out here. And I dedicated a couple days to it, just walking around, filming and photographing, and I got a lot of amazing pictures of this cemetery. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with these books. Maybe I'll end up donating them to like a historical library in Puerto Rico or something. when I pass on, just so, you know, the books at least have somewhere to be and a purpose, because I think they are just amazing, and I'm not sure that anybody else has gone through so much to produce something like this as I have, and my body of work will only continue to grow over the next couple years because I have a lot more cemeteries in Puerto Rico to photograph. I'm not even close to being done. This was a special cemetery too. Like I said, it's a lot like the first cemetery that I had in this book. It's just right in the heart of the people and the community. And it's just loaded with graves, as you can see. Or hopefully, as you can see. I'm not sure as to, you know, the quality that you guys are going to get in this video, but at least it's given you guys an idea of what my books look like, because my YouTube channel is very important to me, but these books are my prized work, so to speak. And now we're going to be looking at the Cementerio Viejo de Fajardo. When I was walking around Puerto Rico, I made it to Fajardo, and this cemetery caught my eye beforehand as well, just because of the sheer size of it. There were so many old headstones. You could tell Fajardo has been an important city on the island for a long time, and the cemetery didn't disappoint in the least. I got some amazing photos of it as well, because I spent 5 or 6 hours one day just walking around and checking it out, and I was pretty much by myself like I usually am in the cemeteries. Yep, I remember walking around Fajardo. It was when I did my walk on the east coast of Puerto Rico during my second trip. During my first trip, I walked the north coast and half of the south coast and all of the west coast. And in my second trip, I walked the east coast and went to a ton of cemeteries on the way. Got Airbnbs sometimes. I just slept outside a lot of times too. And I wish the cemeteries were open in Puerto Rico on the weekends. That really does throw a monkey wrench into things when I'm doing my long 2-week walks and trying to photograph and film as many cemeteries as I can. Those weekends really throw me off because I gotta find something else to do while I'm waiting for them to open up. I love this photograph here. Like I said, I really love the full page stuff. This was an amazing cemetery. So much history here. Love this photograph too, right here. It's just amazing. It could be a poster or a t-shirt, in my opinion. And now we're going to be looking at the Humacao Municipal Cemetery. And Humacao was the last city I made it to during my second trip to Puerto Rico because I ran out of money again. I always kind of just go until I got nothing left, and Humacao was my final stop, and this is one of my prized pictures right here. Just turned out so beautiful. This was an amazing cemetery too. I really enjoyed being here. It was a nice sunny day, but it wasn't too hot. And like I said, I was pretty much by myself like I usually am. And this cemetery was kind of on the edge of town by a power plant. And you see I got the bird captured there in flight. And so this cemetery wasn't necessarily in with the heart of the people like I generally like, but there's just so many people buried in this cemetery. You could tell Humacao has always been a pretty bustling place for the most part. And I got a lot of good pictures of their cemetery here. It's one of my favorite pages in the book right here. Love how the color just jumps out at you like that. And now we're gonna be looking at the, I believe this is the final cemetery in book one. It's the historical cemetery in Humacao, and it's the older one that I believe that they put up first before the Municipal Cemetery, but I'm not quite sure. But this is an amazing cemetery as well, and I really enjoyed being here. The people that worked here were extra nice to me and made me feel extra comfortable. So I was able to spend a lot of time here and get quite a few good photographs of the cemetery. And this cemetery is located right into the heart of the people too, which I like. You can see the houses in the background and some of the pictures here. See the houses there, and this is an amazing statue too. It's one of my favorite statues I've ever photographed. It's a pretty long book though, isn't it? Like I said, I really put in a lot of work on this book. Oh, there is one more cemetery. The Cementerio Municipal de Ceiba, and I photographed this cemetery when I was waiting to catch the ferry to go to Vieques, because I wanted to photograph and film the cemeteries on that island as well. And this is an interesting little cemetery here. I didn't get as many photographs as I would have liked, but I was kind of rushed trying to catch the ferry and all, and that's a whole nother story. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of this book in the comments. I'd be interested to, whoops. And that's it. Just for context, show you what it looks like. No Name Explorations, Puerto Rico Cemeteries, Book 1. It's a nice, beautiful book. And it's my prized possession.